Hello everyone. Today's poem is Shao Nan, 表有梅 by 佚名 or by Anonymous, a Shao Wind poem from the Book of Songs. This poem is about the marriage, the proposal to a marriage, and the feeling of a girl looking forward to his marriage or anxious about her marriage. Before we go to this poem, I will show you a short video about when I climb up the dragon's back in Hong Kong, Longji. So it was claimed as the best or the most beautiful track in Hong Kong. So you can I'm walking on the ridge of the small peninsula, and the three directions, south, east, west, are the seas or bays, and the back is mainland Hong Kong. Tai Tam Bay, covered by clouds. I wrote a pair of sentences, 青山绕白水，赤柱生明埋. So this is my words. Okay, let's get back to the poem. The title, 表有梅, 表 means dropping, throw. So 梅 is plump. So the title means the fruit of the plump was dropping down to the ground, is falling down to the ground. And the term plump, 梅, in Chinese share the same pronunciation as 梅. In today's language, most of the time we refer to as media, 媒体. And we also have another term, 媒人, which means the middleman for the marriage. So in the ancient China, the marriage actually was managed and managed by the middleman or middlewoman. The code of conduct of Zhou dynasty, or Zhou, namely, has defined the very complex process how the marriage was managed, but the focal point is the middleman or middlewoman. And so this character or these words most was believed has a great possibility to derived from this poem, because this is the first poem in Chinese history writing about the marriage, and also it implied a lot of the process or code of conduct Zhou in this poem. I will first go through the very simple wordings of this poem, and then I will discuss the marriage in the Zhou dynasty in the ancient China. It's three paragraphs, very typical three paragraphs. 表有梅，其实七兮. The plump, the fruit of the plump was dropping on, falling on the ground. The fruit on the trees is roughly 70%. 十, the fruit. 七, it means 70%. So actually it tells us the weather. It's the very beginning of the summer. The plump fruit was was matured and start to falling, but it's still in its good status, very sweet, mature, good status. 求我庶士，迨其吉兮. I beg those young men, please wait until the good time, until the good timing. 求, I beg. 庶 means the many, the quantity is many. 士 is the average people. dai is until, ji means good time, good timing. So what this poet asking for? Actually, he or she didn't tell it at all. So through the generations, through the Chinese histories, the focal point of this poem was explained or interpreted as a poem of marriage. And the poet who was writing this poem was a girl. So in the first paragraph, the girl was asking those young men who could be her good couple, who could be her husband, please, until when the good time is coming, do something. What actually she was asking them to do? It's not like today, to make a proposal with a wedding ring. So in the Zhou dynasty, everything was according the code of conduct of Zhou dynasty, Zhou Li, and very briefly, the marriage actually was managed by the middleman or middlewomen, and then with the both consent from both families, the marriage was decided, and then they decided the date, and then this prepare in both sides for the marriage, and then they hold the ceremony, the marriage, the wedding ceremony. So actually, it's a very complicated process, but basically it's managed by the middleman, and with the efforts of both families, not by the girl, not by that young man. With all the background, the first paragraph is quite obvious. The girl simulates herself as the fruit of the plum, fully matured and starting to dropping down to the ground. So it's a little bit late already. And she asked all the young men in town who could be her husband, who could be her good couples, please take the good times to do something, to find a middleman, to ask the middleman to make the proposal, to make the negotiation between two families, to prepare all the stuff needed for the wedding ceremony for the new family. So that takes take months of times. So the girl actually she's feel a little bit worried because the fruit of the plum was 70% left, which actually implied she's a bit older than the average age of wedding in the Zhou dynasty. And she asked all those young men to take action now. The second paragraph, 迨有梅，其实三兮. The fruit of the plum keep falling down to the ground. Only 30% still on the trees. Though this means two things. It's mid-summertime. So in the first paragraph, it's about the starting of the summertime. And now came to the mid of the summertime. It also implies that the girl is much older and more worried about her marriage. 求我庶士，迨其今兮. So I beg all those young men in town, please action today, please action now. 迨其今兮, 迨 until, or wait till today. So it means you should take action today. make the proposal, to find the middleman, to make the proposal, to start preparing everything for the wedding, for the new family today. The girl was so worried. The situation was in such a hurry. So this is the second paragraph about. So in the Zhou dynasty, the marriage normally happens from the autumn to the early spring. It could be the code of conduct, or it could be the custom of that time. But so when we further look at the first and second paragraph, you can see the situation starting from the early summer, and in the second paragraph, it comes to the midsummer's time. It's quite near to the autumn season. So if the boy didn't start his action, the girl may miss to get married in this year. She had to wait another year and try to complete such a complex process per the code of conduct, Zhou, and then get married with someone. So everything takes time. So you need to do to do the key tasks, key things accordingly, timingly. The third paragraph, 迨有梅，顷筐塈之. The fruit of plum keep falling down to the ground. Use the dustpan to take it on the ground. 顷筐 is a dustpan, but in Asian China, it's not for the dust. It's for to take something from the ground. So basically, when we collect the fruit of plum, we go up on the branches and take it from the branches. And in the third paragraph, so there's maybe no fruit on the tree, on the branches. The only thing left is on the ground. So you use the dustpan to take it. So it could be the late summer, or it could be even the autumn's time. So you can see the time change from the first paragraph to the third paragraph, from the starting of the summer to the autumn season. So which means actually in the third paragraph, the girl actually missed her opportunity to get married this year. So let's see what her action afterwards. 求我庶士，迨其谓之. So I beg those young men in town, please just tell me something. 谓 means telling something to somebody. So here has two explanations. One explanation is, okay, just forgot all those code of conduct, forgot the middleman, forgot my parents, forgot your parents. So if you want me, just tell me, and I would go with you. So this is one explanation. The other explanation is recorded in the history books that in the early spring times, in the very cold area of the Zhou people in Zhounan or Shaonan, so this is the cold area of the Zhou dynasty. They are all Zhou peoples. It's allowed the young man and the young girl, they can go out and make love in the wild freely. It's not forbidden. It's encouraged by the government, but it's only for the early springtime. Another poem in Shao Wind, 也有思君, may reflect the situation that a young man and a young girl, they have love in the wild. And I have paid a visit to the coal area of Zhou Shaonan. So there's a temple so-called Zhou Miao, one of the ancestors of the Zhou people in the Zhou dynasty. And on the back of that temple was a small hill. There's a lot of small cove on the mid of that small hill, and that was told is the place in the early springtime for the men and women to make love, not by couples. And the story is, if a woman married for years but still don't have kids, she can stay in those small cove, small house on the mid hill overnight, and any young man or man can have love with that woman, of course, at the consent by that woman. So that's something still kept until quite recently, but not nowadays. I think kept until maybe 60 years, 100 years ago. Still, such things happened in these areas. So this could be the second possibility, that the girl just tell the young man the next spring, several months later, next spring, just tell me if you want me, I will somewhere waiting you. So this basically is the poem about. The focal point of this poem is to get married in time, not too late. So these habits even last till today. If a girl maybe is above 25 years old, her parents will become quite worried and try to do something to help her married. And in the ancient China, it's clearly recorded as 15. So when a girl was 15, she was fully ready for the marriage. And when she passed the age of 20, it's too late. It's just like the 迨其实三兮 is too late. Getting married in time and later derived as value the time and do things with regard of the timing became a very core value for Chinese even till today. And there's a very famous Tang poetry, 花开堪折直须折，莫待无花空折枝. Can you feel the similarity between these two poems? Yes, that's the descendants of this poem in the Tang poetry. Like most of the poems in the Book of Songs, this very straightforward poem still has some arguments. The key thing is, actually, we don't who's writing this poem. It's a girl, a king, a lord, or some other people. Or what about the things? 迨其吉兮, 迨其今兮. So there's something so urgent, but we still don't know exactly what's that things about. Even most of the people think it's the poet is a girl and it's about get married, and but we still have this poem could be interpreted in other ways, has another has other possibilities. So that's the interesting part to explain the poems in the Book of Songs. We never know the poet, we never know the background, and the feelings actually it could be applied in many situations. This poem is about timing, to value the time. So this spirit, this value could be applied in many aspects, in many things in our life. Okay, that's for today, and I wish you take your time and have a good way of timing or good sense of timing. Bye bye.